Welcome in, basketball fans. If you love watching grown men put balls in hoops as much as I do, hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of our daily sports content. We are 9 weeks into the NBA season, 3 days away from Christmas, give or take, something like that, and almost to the end of 2025. Where did the year go? We're going to talk about our poster of the week, our player of the week, and our top 10 teams through 9 weeks of basketball, starting with our poster of the week, coming from 22-year-old Shaedon Sharpe, who gets the ball on the kick out, the pump fake, and bam! Over an absolute legend of the game. I want y'all to think about what Russell Westbrook probably was when Shaedon Sharpe was a freshman in high school. He was probably still playing on the Oklahoma City Thunder, averaging a triple-double and winning MVPs. So for young Shaedon Sharpe, one, to be entertaining for such a terrible fan base in the Portland, not a terrible fan base, but just a terrible organization. You lose your coach in the beginning of the year. All faith was probably lost from the Portland Trailblazers fan base. And to have a young buck like this that's going to go out here and put absolute nukes over a guy like Russell Westbrook, that's going to be a highlight on his highlight reel for the rest of his life. That is a legend he grew up watching in Russell Westbrook. So dunk of the week goes to Shaedon Sharpe. Now on to our player of the week. Big body Brunson, 31.3 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, and 8 assists, and a massive win over the Spurs to bring the Emirates Cup championship back to New York, or into New York. Actually, where was that? That game was played in Vegas. So back to New York, where they refuse to hang the banner, and I want to give them a round of applause for that, because I get it. The trophy's cool. The extra money is cool. Hanging extra banners in the rafter that don't matter, kind of insane to me. I don't think there should be any banners hung for the Emirates Cup championship, but what Jalen Brunson went out there and did in a game, I thought the Spurs were going to go out there and completely outpace the Knicks. I thought Wemby was going to have his day, and I thought he was going to get some crazy block shots on Brunson driving in, but Brunson went out there, they found a way, and they got it done against the young and relentless San Antonio Spurs, and it showed you the Knicks are here, and the Knicks are ready to make a championship run. You got the youth. You also have the vets. You got guys playing on both sides of the ball, and I think the Knicks are going to be poised for something great this year. I think that, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to make Knicks fans mad. I'm going to be real with you. Starting at number 10, the Philadelphia 76ers. This is clearly Tyrese Maxey's team now. Move over Embiid, move over Paul George. And by the way, VJ Edgecombe, an absolute menace, a dog, a demon on the court, and his story is even better. You know, when we went to the draft and you see, I forgot who it was that got drafted, Ace Bailey over here crying, complaining, oh, I don't want to go to this team. I'm so upset. You got VJ Edgecombe talking about, we lived off a generator for years. Mom probably worked 12 different jobs at a time. This is where we need to start recruiting NBA. In the trenches, I get VJ Edgecombe's not from America. We got to get back in the trenches, because you can't do nothing but love a guy like VJ Edgecombe, who comes from the dirt and is nothing but an absolute dog on the court, because they're hungry for it. They want it. They want to get their family to where they don't have to work ever again. And I feel like that's what America's problem is right now with every sport. Football, basketball, NBA, MLB, America, especially UFC, America's just not hungry for it anymore. So we're going overseas to these guys that are hungry for this. They want the money. They want to get their family out of the favelas, out of poverty. VJ Edgecombe is an absolute dog, one of my favorite players in the league right now. This team is averaging 19 points in turnovers in the last 2 weeks. That is absolutely ridiculous. Drop a Knicks team with Andre Drummond, not even Embiid out there. Andre Drummond filling in pretty nicely for this team. And my thing is, the 76ers team looks so nice. They have a lot of youth working for them. You got to start thinking, what are we going to do with Paul George? What are we going to do with Embiid? They keep getting hurt. They can't stay healthy. We have to keep putting them on minutes restrictions, this and that. Maybe you package them. I don't know if you can package Embiid and Paul George and send them somewhere, but I feel like you need to get something for these two players that is going to help this team build around Tyrese Maxey, and that's just my opinion on that. At number 8, the Boston Celtics. Now, they did drop a really massive game earlier in the week to the Pistons, and the Pistons really just showed how relentless they are with Cade Cunningham taking over, playing really good on the perimeter players. And the one thing about the Celtics is for them to thrive, their bench has to go out there and continue to be dominant. And they go out there and they do dominate a Heat team where the bench is going off, where you got guys like Hauser doing good. You got guys like Gonzalez doing good. You got your bench really going out there and producing because Jaylen Brown can't do it all himself. For this team to be successful and keep moving up in the rankings and stay in playoff contention, which they're going to do, their conference is absolutely terrible. You don't have a lot of competition over there, but when you get into playoffs, when you get deeper into the season, your bench is going to have to carry a lot of the load because Jaylen Brown can't do it all. White's not always going to be on an absolute heater, and you're going to have guys that are going to have to step up or they're going to have to make those big plays. Boston Celtics at number 9. At number 8, the Houston Rockets. Sengun shows why we call him the baby Joker while playing verse Joker. 30-point triple-double against the man, the myth, the legend, Nikola Jokic. Oh, by the way, Nikola Jokic also a 30-point triple-double in an overtime loss. The Rockets do go out there and lose that game, which is funny because then the next game they play them 4 days later. Sengun puts up a triple single, goes out there and plays terrible, and they win that game. So the Rockets are looking good. It's nice to see that the young guys, when one's not doing hot, one can step up, because I think the game where Alperen Sengun wasn't doing as good, you had Amin Thompson come in and he was hooping, KD was hooping, and a lot of these younger guys started picking up the slack in what Sengun wasn't putting on the floor. Which is okay. You're going to need your young guys going forward. I still think this team needs more of a true point guard to go out there and really command this team. Maybe Chris Paul, I don't know. They go in and lose a game to the Kings that they really shouldn't have lost. This team looks really good sometimes, and it looks really bad other times. So there's a lot still going on for the Rockets right now. My number 7 team is the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't know what to say. Luka goes out with a leg contusion. Our team is so battered and beat up. We're already missing AR. Now we're missing Luka. Now we have 41-year-old LeBron James trying to command a bench that is already one of the worst benches in the league to victory. And that's just not how we're going to be able to sustain basketball and win out. Laravia picks up the bulk of the minutes when Luka and AR go out. And he's just not like, would that make you happy? Laravia picking up the bulk of, you got 2 absolute stars out with a 41-year-old. We're having to watch LeBron James play 35 plus minutes a night. That's just not good ball for the Los Angeles Lakers. And this team is absolutely crumbling right before our eyes. Like, if Luka has one of the most, so Luka has the most usage percentage in the league, and his defense is terrible. His offense has been awful for the past month. I don't know what is happening with Luka. I don't know if it was the birth of his child that has him in this fluster. Like, what is going on? We need Luka here, clear-headed, ready to go. We need Austin Reeves back, ready to go. The Lakers are, and we're one. LeBron is 41 years old. We are one injury away from having a complete bench on the court. And it's not good for looking for my Los Angeles Lakers. At number 6, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves, who get a massive win over the Oklahoma City Thunder. And what Rudy went out there and did an insane job of controlling Chet, exposing him, and rebounds with physicality for this whole team. I think they out-rebounded OKC by 10. That's with Anthony Edwards grabbing 12 boards. That's with I want to say Rudy Gobert grabbing 15 boards. I want to say someone else grabbed 6. This team was just grabbing board after board. And on the offensive side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball, it was tied on boards. Offensive side of the ball, they were like almost plus 10. And with Julius Randle staying consistent on this team and really building, if Anthony Edwards can stay healthy, the Timberwolves are going to be a scary team moving forward. At number 5, the Denver Nuggets. Inject Sengun versus Joker into my veins, both scoring 30-point triple-doubles in the same game against each other. I could watch that series over and over and over and over again. And when you got guys like Jamal Murray that are going to go out there and drop 35 points in a win, but then they go out there and they're not as consistent as all the, like, they 35 points in a win, 16 points in a loss. Granted, it was a back-to-back, I believe. The one consistent on this team being Joker, a team that's really battered and beat up. I think Gordon's been out for a few games. You got guys that just aren't super consistent. Joker is going to have to continue to will this team to the next level. At number 4, the Detroit Pistons do drop a little bit. I'm not going to lie. They went 2-1 on the week. They lost an OT stunner to the Dallas Mavericks. I can't decide if the Dallas Mavericks are a good team, a bad team. When I tell you Cooper Flagg looks like the next coming of, I won't say it, LeBron James. I didn't say it. Someone else said it. Someone else muttered that into the mic. Cade's numbers are getting overshadowed by Shai's. Shai's and Luka's. This man's averaging 27 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists. And I think he's good, if not, I won't say a better defender than Shai. I want to say a lot of Shai's defense comes from the defensive production around him. But Cade Cunningham is an absolute great defender and an absolute closer when you need him to go out there and close a game. At number 3, the Oklahoma City Thunder continue to slide in our power rankings. They come back and absolutely mop the Clippers. They lost to the Timberwolves early in the week in a back-to-back. And it's just, this team is fatigue setting in. J-Dub's still trying to find his footing. Awful on turnovers and rebounding over the last few weeks. But I think these losses are going to do nothing but help this team. Because I would rather realize, we have a problem with turnovers. We have a problem with rebounding in the first half of the season or the middle of the season than in the playoffs. The Oklahoma City Thunder are going to be okay. I would assume in the next week or so, they're probably going to be back up to the number 1 spot. J-Dub is going to start to fill in better. The bench is going to start to hoop consistently, and this team is just going to get it all tightened up because the coaching there is ridiculous. The chemistry there is ridiculous, and I think this is a team that wants to go out there and just get it done again. At number 2, the San Antonio Spurs. They do lose to the New York Knicks in a cup game, which I thought they should have went out there and won. Wemby feels like an X factor against every team. Fox really couldn't get going consistently. They were bullying Wemby all night. They were putting Cam Robinson on him, and Cam Robinson was dominating Wemby on the boards. They do get 3 dominant wins after versus the Hawks and Wizards twice. The team's youth really showed versus a team full of vets like the Knicks. Like the Knicks went out there and inserted their dominance because they've been here, they've done that. You have Brunson getting to the hoop. You have OG hitting insane threes, insane shots that we don't see him do night in. And if OG goes out there and hits shots like that night in and night out, the Knicks are probably going to the finals. And it felt like Wemby and Fox really just couldn't get into their rhythm that game. That was their biggest loss on the week. But I do think that does dethrone them for our number 1 team. The New York Knicks, 2-1 on the week, completely exposed the Spurs, dominated offensive and defensive side of the boards. They low-key shut down Wemby. They do drop one to the 76ers, but the 76ers are, I'm telling y'all right now, an absolute legit team in this league. Jalen Brunson is insane. If you catch Brunson, Cat, and then you have either OG Hart clicking offensively and defensively on the same night, I don't know who can beat this team other than maybe the Oklahoma City Thunder. It would go to 7. I'm going to keep it real with you right now. I think the Knicks and the Thunder would go to a 7-game series if you can get all these guys clicking. OG's playing a lot better. Hart's playing a lot better. Bridges is playing a lot better. This team is really just on a mission. The one thing that is going to be worrisome, can they stay healthy? Ladies and gentlemen, these are our top 10 power rankings going through 9 weeks of basketball. If you think there's a team too high, if you think there's a team too low, a team that should be in or a team that should be out, let us know down in the comments. Don't forget, like and follow.